Now, Chuck Schumer is continuing to get humiliated on his disastrous PR tour, trying to defend him voting for the budget. But this latest interview has to be the most embarrassing one so far. Here he is on MSNBC, and they play for Chuck Schumer all of the responses from his Democrat colleagues. And Chuck Schumer gets so annoyed. He's like, all right, turn it off. Watch.
I want to play some of the criticism, again, not from like backseat drivers or not from me on cable news, but people like Hakeem Jeffries or Nancy Pelosi. Take a listen.
Look, Chuck and I disagreed as it relates to the approach and outcome.
I think there is a deep sense of outrage and betrayal. And this is not just about progressive Democrats. This is across the board, the entire party.
I still support Senator Schumer as leader, but I think the only way that we are going to be effective as a caucus is if we change our tactics.
I would have liked to see, when Chuck Schumer had leverage here, to say we need A, B, C, and D for the Democratic Party and force the Republicans to meet him halfway on those issues.
I myself don't give away anything for nothing. And I think that's what happened the other day.
They said, okay, he said leverage, I think it was the governor.
And Nancy Pelosi said, I myself don't give away anything for nothing. I think that's what happened.
The only leverage we had.
That was hilarious. He forced him to sit there and watch person after person insult him and call him a failure to no end. Trump has the Democrats exactly where he wants them. They're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. Trump is successfully weaponizing the Democrats' own aggression against them. He knows everything he does, the Democrats are going to try to oppose. He keeps taking these extremely popular stances, knowing the Democrat knee-jerk reaction is going to be to oppose him, and it makes the Democrats look worse every single time. That couldn't have been more evident than in his speech to Congress. And instead of playing right into Trump's hands, the Democrats could take the time to formulate some sort of coherent plan or unified message. But because they're all incompetent, they have no interest in using the little bit of brain power that they have to come up with a competing idea. And that's no more evident than this Democrat senator who was hosting a town hall in Arizona. One of his constituents asks him, what can they do to fight because the situation is dire? And listen to the response that he gives his constituent.
They've shown us over and over and over again, they don't care. They don't care if people die. They don't care if people suffer. We want you to be straight with us. How do we go to the next level to fight this if that's the case?
So call, write letters, show up at places when you can. Show up at your local congressman's office. You show up in front of their office. Tell them how pissed off you are and how bad this is for our country and how there are people inside the house that you are trying to burn down.
Look at him just making stuff up in his head in real time because he hasn't thought it out. He hasn't tried to come up with a plan. He has no strategy. He has no creative thinking. He just regurgitates the same old empty platitudes and encourages them to engage in the same useless performative theatrics and accomplish absolutely nothing but then virtue signal and pat themselves on the back for feeling like they accomplished something. And that's how you know the Democrat Party's approval rating has not hit the floor yet, because they've already abandoned the idea of having good competing ideas. And now they've boxed themselves in to where their only alternative is to fight and resist. And then when the constituents ask them how they can fight and resist this fascist takeover, the best response these Democrats can muster up is, call your representatives and let them know that you're upset, which is going to cause their base that wants to fight to become more agitated and more disappointed. So I expect to see approval numbers consistently declining for the next several weeks.